I am Shalaan, and as you all know, I am the creator, the writer, director, the producer, the editor, and a little bit everything else in between for The Abnormals. When I created The Abnormals back in 2012, 2013, it was very much inspired by, the different fantasy and supernatural worlds that I had always loved. I always wanted to see, someone who looked like me and looked like my friends and family be present in that world. And that wasn't always the case, especially growing up and, coming to grips with not only what your life means in the world as a Black person, but also coming into your own as a gay kid too, and growing up and, still seeing the very lacking of representation in the world. Black characters in a lot of different genres have always been seen as the subservient character, or the one who is the supporting character who's never really meant to have much agency or a storyline that carries the plot forward. With The Abnormals, I really wanted to do the complete opposite of that, showing that there are multifaceted ways of being Black and being someone of color, set in this very fantastical world with various characters of different ethnicities, of different powers, of different backgrounds, really coming together for a common goal.
Hey, I'm Maki, Elainie. I play Maya Adwa on The Abnormals. Maya thinks she knows everything, and she also can be stubborn because she thinks she knows everything.
You could do anything else with it. Transfiguration, matter manipulation, hell, even bio-reconfiguring.
And I think that's something we really share. She's a Miss Know-It-All, which is cool, and I definitely consider myself one. Even though I don't know it all, I will come off as one. She likes being in control, and she likes being the smartest person in the room. But when you do that, you have a wall up, or you just kind of don't want to let anyone in and let them know who you really are. And though from a distance, everyone thinks you're really smart, calm, cool, and collected, in reality, you're not.
Maya's character is really meant to represent the multifacets of the young Black girl, one who is conscious of her own power but unsure of how to use it, whether it's to save the day or find some way to fix something in her own normal or magical life. As she starts to catch wind that something might not be right in Briarfell due to this new presence coming into town, and it not only puts her in the forefront of her own story, but the story of the series as well. Having predominantly Black female friends, and of course being raised by a Black mom and then a Black grandmother and then all these other great Black women in my family, just seeing the treatment of Black women and young Black girls in general on TV, in movies as well, has always been so upsetting because they are usually given the short end of the stick.
I am entitled to be afraid for you. If I feel
Tara, you should be ashamed. Being scared of vampires just because of them being vampires is racist.
Being scared of vampires is racism.
Okay, well...
Luckily, there has been significant change in the portrayal of Black women in certain genres. There was a time where they typically played as the second fiddle or supporting character, usually to a white character or their white female best friend. They're always asking,
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Is everything all right? What can I do to help? And it's never the other way around.
I didn't want this to happen. If there was anything that I could do to make it different, I know.
One instance that always really stuck out to me was Bonnie Bennett from The Vampire Diaries. She was the witch of the show, and typically that meant for her that she had to make every major sacrifice in order to save the day. But there was very little time that she had enough agency or enough support in her actions, and she was always left to kind of do the dirty work for the other white protagonists while she had to suffer the most.
Hello, I'm
Nysia Divine.
playing the role of
McIntrye.
Part of Pre's personality is someone who is kind of reckless, impatient, is distant. We've had moments where we just don't feel like we connect with the world. And I think that in her snarkiness, she tries to protect herself.
I don't really like anyone, except my friends. And even they piss me off sometimes. I feel like they think they're better than me. The mean girl has evolved into a multifaceted character.
Who here has actually robbed a bank?
When was this?
Senior year of high school. I had some issues.
All of this, maybe angst, maybe aggression, maybe coldness, you know, whatever, comes from why it's considered mean. And sometimes it's not even mean, it's directness or bluntness or maybe some opinions not asked for. There's a lot of nuances to it, and I like that that's being explored.
They don't take us seriously. That's a mistake the whole world makes. They never take the girl seriously.
Really delving into Pri and who she is and why she reacts the way that she does sometimes, it's that opportunity to see a different side of someone who may be holding a lot in and they don't know how to express that. So things come out very bluntly. So it's a fun time writing for Pri.
Yeah, I remember. I said you were a little dipshit I would never give a second look to. But here I am. I just need you to do something for me first.
Hello, I am Lindsey Laura Laster, and I am playing Raven.
I'm in deep thought on a ride. I'm in deep thought, I'm inside.
How do you think you'd react if you were given the same godlike powers that were given to Raven?
I actually think I already have them.
Yes.
And there goes that copy shit. Raven's character is amazing. I love the power and confidence in her. We have so much to offer towards the nurturing side and also the way we think.
You know I would have been.
Evil shit is about to pop off, and I'm not talking about those Dark Order rats looking for their next hit. This is bigger. She knew I could do something about it, and that's why I'm here. You got it?
Raven is a character who at her core has always been a dreamer, someone who's always been interested in the unknown and fantasy. Usually she uses that as a coping mechanism to get away from certain moments in her life. And her determination to find out about the unknown leads her to the Mother Witch, or the unnamed goddess, who is said to be the goddess of all supernatural creatures. And in doing so, that grants her these powers. And even so, with having them, she finds herself contemplating and questioning a lot of who she is, because what if she starts to lose herself in those abilities?
Sometimes I feel like I'm slipping away. I start to feel things, see things.
It's kind of taking a different perspective of the quote-unquote strong Black woman trope.
As a thing to empower us, right? So it became I'm a strong Black woman, right? To empower us. But then as years go on, we've been ignored because of that very statement. It dehumanizes us. It dehumanizes our pain. It belittles our tears.
With her inheriting these abilities, Raven finds herself really trying to save the world in a world that doesn't necessarily listen to her. And that has rang true through centuries when it comes to Black woman and how she is seen through society and how she is seen from other people and even people who respect and look up to her. It's a matter of looking up to Black women, but then also using her as an example, leaving her behind in a world that continues to move forward as she's trying to make her way through.
The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman.
Raven finds herself playing into that role, but not foreseeing the possibility of getting lost into who she might become while inheriting these powers.
So what would be the first thing you do with Raven's powers if you had them?
I would probably go outside and practice.
Dang, Lindsey, you're not going to end Corona?
Well, I need to practice first.
That's true.
So
That's true. That's true.
I need to train. Growing up, I was really
quiet and shy. So when I got into dance, it got me out of my comfort zone, and that's how I started to like express myself. And that is what got me more into writing and just the creative arts in general. My mom, she just always pushed that creative side of me. That was really important for me, and she didn't care what other people thought, you know, because of whatever she wanted to get across, she got it across no matter how it may seem to someone else.
Hi, I'm Jared Michael Swain. I'm playing the role of Elijah Krane.
Elijah has the luxury of being one of the humans in this series. And despite not having any innate magical abilities of his own, he is the descendant of alchemists who can create certain dark objects and talismans.
And what would you know about real magic, huh? You and your cruddy little family heirlooms?
Oh, they are Krane legacies. Way better than the rep you and your Callahan clan got going.
He's ready to really solidify himself as a leader, as someone who's ready to take charge despite their past.
It's been years, Raven. All right, I got my shit together. I started over, and now I'm about to be the principal of a high school that's probably gonna cost me the last bit of sanity that I got left. I'm scared as hell. But I'm taking this new chapter in my life, and I'm not trying to get messed up again.
Black men are typically seen as the aggressor in society. It's no stranger to the world, especially at this point, that, you know, crimes against us are at an all-time high and have been for a while. There's something in that where to see a Black man really take his own power and his own agency and flip what others think of him and turn it into something that he wants to be.
Well, I actually got into this business because of my brother. It was in high school when he told me, you know what, you should probably try acting because you keep getting hurt in sports. And ever since then, I just didn't stop doing it. I fell in love with the craft. There was a specific role that I took in high school in my senior year that really made me fall in love with the practice and the craft of acting, and that's what made me go to school and study for it, and eventually, you know, pursue it full time. The last supernatural or fantasy role I did was actually a Make-A-Wish film. It was called The Fallen, and I played the villain. This villain was like a super demon coming to Earth to really just rip apart the world.
I am Ramos, your new god.
It was kind of challenging, but it was very fun, and that's probably one of my best experiences acting that I've ever gotten to do.
You had to do like wire work and stuff for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually had to do some stunt work, you know, wire work. So for one of the fights that I had, I was hooked up to the harness and I was, you know, rigged with the wires and stuff, and they lifted me up and everything, and me and the main hero was going across the room, you know, like trying to punch each other and whatnot. It was real and it was legit. So now I got some stunt work in my resume. The real world has influenced the sci-fi, the fantasy, and the supernatural world. But also when you get into, you know, people like having strange abilities and whatnot, that can also serve as an escapism.
When you read a really good fantasy book, you can kind of just run away and just be a part of it. Growing up as a kid, I would run away into books. And it was always really fun. And there's so many different options of worlds you can choose from. That's the beauty with books and the beauty of writing. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, like that series of books is really cool because it has adventure. It ties one of my favorite things, which is Greek mythology. The idea of being like a half-blood or having some type of demigod power or just being able to have the wisdom of Athena or the strength of Zeus or whatever. That kind of stuff has always been really cool to me.
My name is Jordan Snow. I'm playing Calvin Linwood on The Abnormals.
Calvin is, I don't want to say a love letter to my high school self, but a love letter to my high school self. but also to the young Black men who are out there trying to really figure themselves out and where they belong in the world. With Calvin being a werewolf, I like playing with that duality of who he is as a person versus who he is as this completely other entity that lives within him. But at the same time, it is him. It's a part of him that he doesn't necessarily understand, nor can he control. He struggles with what it means to be a man, or what his definition of what a man is, and being comfortable with him being gay, although he is already out.
Caught you. Did you though? I know what you are, and I don't want a goddamn thing to do with it, so get your ass out of this town before I hurt you, little boy. Damn.
You know, you're real cute when you think you're in control.
I said.
You let yourself get bitched by a trickster fox. You're weak.
Lafayette from True Blood. In some ways, I kind of built my personality off of Lafayette. I just loved his energy because he was like, I'm gay, but like, you can still get fucked up.
You still ain't making me eat no AIDS burger.
Well, all you gotta do is say, hold the AIDS. Here. Eat it. Oh, bitch, you come in my house, you gonna eat my food the way I fucking make it. Do you understand me? Tip your waitress.
There are some times where I do feel I'll have like that shield up where, you know, I have to put on this front like, oh, I'm a manly man, or to protect myself from getting verbally abused, physically abused, whatever the case may be. But looking at him, I was inspired and, you know, motivated to kind of get into that mindset to where he, you know, he had the confidence, he wore whatever the hell he wanted, and he was still Lafayette. Like that's what just made him great to me.
There are heavy stigmas in the Black community surrounding what it means to be gay or queer or trans. And with Calvin's character, I really wanted to show a young boy who's simply growing up, who can experience life, who can experience whatever difficulties come his way, and experience love too, specifically Black gay love, something that is a rarity in mainstream media.
Aaron, you're human. You're not even supposed to know about me. My dad made the same mistake, and now I can't even see him. And my mom isn't even allowed to know. And look, if certain people around here found out that you knew about me, it could get bad.
The other cool thing about this cast and crew of Black and of other ethnicities as well, but we are of amazing talent.
Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. You tearing that shit up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up.
Before I even knew what production companies were, I actually knew that I wanted one. All because, I don't know if you remember the company THX, their intro, it was just really loud and tense.
Yes.
It was like,
Scared the shit out of me, yeah.
But I've always wanted that at the beginning of a movie. I was like, oh, I used to draw actually like my initials into like a little logo, and I would imagine how it would look, not really knowing like what I was doing. One of my friends actually in high school asked me to do camera work once, just because my mom had a point and shoot Nikon. She's like, hey, can you record this idea I have? It's like, oh yeah, sure. Ever since then, we shot this little video with Windows movie makers, probably like in oblivion right now. Mm-hmm. But we shot the movie. It was a music video for Chance the Rapper's Lost, and it was bunch of high schoolers just trying, and I loved it. I started the real production game when I graduated in 2017. Upgraded my camera to a Sony a6000, started hitting the ground doing music videos, taking pictures at different open mic events, just asking my friends if they had friends who did music, like I have a camera, doing them for free. Fell in love with it, started Spazz Cinema that same year.
Hold on, let me spaz right quick.
Had a self-produced show at one point called Freestyle Fridays. So we have 2 seasons already out on YouTube. Hey, what's up? I'm Mia Simone, and this is Freestyle Fridays. I am very much so attracted to reality because there's something so beautiful about the genuinity of a moment. It's raw, it's real, it's emotional, and it helps like connect the audience to what they're viewing. And I think that's the biggest like thing I try to accomplish for real.
Cry. My cuz doing time in a box, and I'm just asking why. Weed ain't enough now, the pills, that's what get them high. Niggas ain't loyal now when this shit is strange. They loyal to the
I'm exhausted, but stay flossing. Came to snatch up a few wigs. Supersonic when I'm unconscious, the monster under the grip.
Music has always been in my heart. I know that sounds kind of corny, but like music has always been within me. Like I used to just sing and dance when I was little. I used to sing like the song from like Little Rascals. I know it's not originally from the Rascals, but you are so beautiful. Yes. I went to Development School of the Arts in DC. So I got in by like rapping. Tupac was like a big inspiration for me, especially like seeing somebody come from like a artistic background, like theater and poetry, and then like kind of transition into the hip hop area. I started recording with Alex Rion, fellow artist, in 2017.
This instrumental got me thinking sentimental. I'm mentally in the past, like reminiscing over these visions. Me in the past, like it's crazy. I used to be the wildest, no reflection, hella driving direct.
Helped me put together my first EP, the Borderline EP, which you guys could check out on SoundCloud and Spotify.
Suffocating in the static of madness. It's tragic how we're conditioned to be combative instead of compassionate. Often
I love all types of music, from bluegrass to soft rock and metal, black metal. I just love music.
We're always so much put into that box of what we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to look like, what genre of music we're supposed to like. And what I love about you and your style is that it goes away from that, and it shows that we can be into so many different things. Like your songs, they're all so different. They're different, but then they're the same in the fact that it's in your style.
Are not things to hold and love.
I just always felt like there was kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oxymoron, kind of like Glamgoblin, you know, something like that. I just felt like my art was really like moving into that direction. I feel like a lot of the topics were like really dark, surrounding like body image and self-esteem and stuff like that. But it kind of like countered each other in some kind of way. And I felt like Glamgoblin was the perfect name for that. You get the glitz and the glam and the color, but you also get the dirty, the real, the raw, and those two things put together. I just felt like it was a perfect name. Being alternative, I just felt like it's also pretty just cool, you know. It just sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was introduced to music maybe like around 8, 9 years old. I used to play my granddad's guitar. He had like an acoustic guitar. I used to mess with it, just hit the joint. Fast forward to 17 years old. I am playing Guitar Hero, and I'm like, I want to play one of these songs. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to say Damn It by Blink-182. My granddad actually bought me a guitar from the pawn shop. I started like that. I was messing with FL Studio back in like 2007, just tapping away on it, not really knowing what I was doing. But then once I got to college, about 2012-ish, 11-ish, I really wanted to get into music a lot more serious. So actually I met up with a dude that I actually produce now, 60 DJ.
Yeah, got a bad bitch, she gave me rain. Shotgun, got a shooter with some good aim.
We clicked up, and then yeah, we just been making beats, and it's just been kind of like been rolling since. I just got really interested in like mixing and technology and like how to make music and playing piano and just getting better at the craft. So older music is really what helped me a lot as well too. You know, getting into like old soul music, funk music, stuff from the 80s, 60s, 70s, all that kind of stuff like that.
Damn, Barry, that's another one.
One of my favorite producers tried to follow after was Quincy Jones, in terms of his musicality and stuff like that. He was just really prolific in just making an overall musical structure opposed to just kind of making a loop. So you hear like a boom, dat, boom, boom, dat, loop, boom, and you just loop it over. Quincy Jones has stretched that out and expand that to such a degree where it was like, whoa, this every song is like a story. You know what I mean? And it's like in my music where every song I make is telling a story. Every song that I do is qualitative opposed to quantitative. Every producer, every musician is always going to have like their set thing they play. So you kind of warm up. Like for me, I play the keys a lot. So I come here and I play a certain set of chords, certain, piano exercise, and just kind of build off of that.
Wanting you for some time now. You've been wanting me to come through. We've been all locked down. Kinda me like when two is guaranteed. Comfort you with somebody.
Hey.
No shit, dog boy.
Do you remember your process in making that song?
I remember asking you specifically, like, hey, you need some music or whatever. He's like, I kind of need something like a hip hop, kind of like you said, like Boondocks, kind of going along that. So I was like, okay, let me see what I can make. And I knew what the Abnormals kind of was about. I knew it was kind of like, it had a little bit like thriller elements and like kind of like this, supernatural, stuff going on with it. So I was like,
feel like you were about to say
make something along with that.
You were about to say CW.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No. Nah. It was like, I know it had like the supernatural. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can find something like that eerie noise. So, like with this. With like that real high pitched string. I thought that was kind of like a little spooky. So I was like, okay, I'm build off of that. And like that boom back, like that, especially with that heavy 808, that boom, 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 that shit, that's, it just kind of clicked. It just kind of came together. I was like, all right, I think he might fuck with this. I think he's going back with this. So I sent it over, and he was like, yeah.
When I tell you, I still to this day listen to that just driving in my car because it just gives me hype. Like, it's my show, so I can say this. Fuck the show. It's all about the song in that moment. It's a dope beat. And I've gotten so many compliments from it, like saying like, this is a really good theme song. Who made this? Did you do this? Do you know somebody? I'm telling you, Eric Berry Music, that's who did it.
I have a clothing line that is called Black Minds, Beauty Leaks Amongst Creative Minds. I also am a choreographer, so I have a business that's specifically towards choreographing pieces for films, commercials, artists that really pull on the emotion of a piece called XX, Lifestyle Emotions. Being such a creative, I just like being involved so much in empowering people. And as a Black woman, I feel like that's my obligation to empower our people to live in their creativity.
I will always say that if you have the means to do it, don't second guess, just do it. Create it. If it doesn't turn out good the first time, guess what? You have the chance to go back and do it again. Do it again until it works for you, so long as you continue to create.
I just want young Black kids to see us and just get excited that we're not doing something super stereotypical to when you see Black people on TV and we're filling that stereotype. We're doing a fun and mystical show that you don't get to normally see us all in so dominantly.
When you look across, you know, the fantasy or even the sci-fi genre, there's not really a lot of representation for us in there.
And I think that that's really taking a turn, and I think that we have a lot more work to do in that arena.
I would want other gay Black men to feel comfortable doing whatever they feel comfortable doing. Mm-hmm. So I want to be, I want to be a representation of that.
10 years from now, when people think of you, what is that lasting impression you want to have? 10, 20, 30 years, because 10 years is not that far away, because time will creep up on you like a motherfucker. But like 20 some years into the future.
Like in the future, I only crave to inspire because I love the feeling I feel when I'm inspired. And I've noticed, like, you know, when you start doing things, people see it and they say, hey, I can do that too. And you might inspire just from being yourself to do something they've been thinking about, you know?
I want everyone to know that the things that they haven't accepted about themselves and the things that other people refuse to accept about them is that it takes a lot of self-work in order to be the person that you want to be. And I want people to see that in my work and start doing the work that needs to be done so that they can move forward in their life.
Really hone in on your passion, because that's the only thing that's going to keep you going. Things are going to get hard and you might not see a result, but the main thing to remember is why you're doing it and your purpose.
You can do this too. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, where you start, how you start. You just gotta put your mind to it, and it's determination that counts.
And it inspires to want to do the same thing we did in any type of genre of anything.
At the end of the day, you can't do it all, but you can definitely do a lot. Like any musician, like any producer, I just want to be heard, honestly. I just want to be heard on a...
Black actors, Black entertainers, and Black creators are very well diverse. We're not set in one box. We're not set in one category. And as long as we keep creating, and as long as, you know, we keep giving ourselves the platforms to create this and put those images out there that everyone can see, we have range.
So I love that there's this Black renaissance, this Black resurgence of us telling our own stories the way we want them to do, whether that's through music or whether that's through film. And I love and appreciate you for being a part of that movement, okay?
Thank you for everybody who's been watching, and this is really a fun project to be a part of.
Yeah, watch the Abnormals!
Stream, like, subscribe.
Yeah. Welcome to the new abnormal. My inner light is immortal. I balance through 60 portals. Got magical intuition. I practice radical healing like a sabbatical mission. Your pineal spoken dish. Fabric of spaces ripping. Millie rock you cross dimensions. With the poem and pure intention. I thrive in the third eye vision. I'm really real. You know I'm finna show it all off like your girl just scored a NC Hill. Yeah, that's just how pretty. I come and find you with my skinny heels. The haters starving. I got plenty meals. Chasing tricks as I might need some rest. Try not to stress, so I just manifest. Discern spirit, I can feel your hex. Nothing's as it seems, I can read through this shit. You can't feel a goddess, I received all my gifts. Natural born winner, I can lead us through this. Born a queen, but I'm a beast when that full moon is lit. Get it right. I'm not your average creature.